Extra.
Good evening. You are listening to a Radulich Broadcasting premier podcast, The Metal Hammer of Doom Extra. Tonight we are looking at Soulfly, Filth Upon Filth, as we go on to review Soulfly Totem, a week from this recording, allegedly, August 11th. I am joined by Jesse Starcher, good old Dick Titten. How you doing, Dick Titten?
Mark Radulich, I am here and ready to talk some Soulfly.
I'm confused about something.
I'm excited. Oh, are you? Okay.
Why are you only Dick Titten now? Like when I tried to call you Dick Titten last night when we talked the boys, you're like, I'm just Jesse. Dick.
You call me whatever you want, whenever you want, Mark Radulich.
I don't, but you didn't answer my nice deflection, but you didn't answer my question.
I just didn't change my name. How's that? That's how simple that is I didn't change my name last night. I would have been Dick Titten if I would have thought about it, but
okay.
Metal Hammer of Doom is where Dick Titten began, and I feel like that is where it needs to be.
Okay. All right. Also joining me tonight is, of course, Robert Cooper, the Metal Coop. How you doing, sir?
I am happier than a man with a scatological fetish digging towards a septic tank.
Terrific.
Terrific, in fact.
We have an agenda. No list tonight. We do have an agenda. We have sexy stories. We have some non-sexy stories. But I just want to make sure, did anyone, Robert, stick their dick in something they weren't supposed to? Before we go any further with this, is there anything you need to tell us about people sticking their dick places they don't belong?
None that I'm aware of yet.
Okay. Yeah, but the night is young.
I mean, yeah. Just like the Catholic Church, just because it's young doesn't mean I can't have fun.
Oh, no. We didn't let this go long enough for you to make that kind of a joke on YouTube.
It's fine. It's going to get taken down anyways.
Probably.
Unlike the Catholic Church.
So it's been a couple of weeks since we've done one of these Metal Hammer of Doom extras. I actually think it was like the beginning of July when we did the last one for Lordy. And then I was away twice. There was other stuff going on. And so it's been quite some time. A lot's happened since then, Jesse. As a matter of fact, we joined hands. We met in person.
Yeah, brother.
Yeah.
Cleveland exploded.
That's
the
right.
Mega powers.
I drove the 16 hours up to Cleveland, and I met Jesse there, and we went to go see Rage Against the Machine at the Rocket House Mortgage Field place.
Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse.
Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse.
Yeah, something like
the
that.
Gund Arena, goddammit.
Yeah, I feel you there. So, yeah, man, you did some driving. You spent a lot of time up there prior to me getting there. I just drove 2 hours, hung out with you, and then drove back. But
can we talk about this for a second? So
absolutely.
So let's go back a couple of months, and I was like, Jesse, you need to take me for pierogies, because my first marriage, I was married to a Polish girl, and she was from whatever part of Cleveland. Maybe it was Parma, maybe it was just outside of Parma, but wherever she was from, when we went up there to visit, she made a point of saying, you got to get pierogies from Parma, which is a very Polish part of Cleveland. And I was like, okay. Sure. And so we did. So I go to Jesse, I'm like, hey, we're going to have this fun night out. When I'm in Cleveland, you got to take me for pierogies. And Jesse's just like, there's a Wendy's over there. And I was like, you cheap bastard. All right.
Well, they say white people don't have any culture.
I understand Jesse was trying to buy a house at the time, and every penny counted. So fine. You don't want to take me for fancy pierogies. I get it. You need to save all your money. So we meet up at the hotel, and he's like, let's go get dinner. And I'm like, dinner? I was not expecting that, Jesse. After hearing, like, you know, there's a Wendy's over there, I was like, oh, I guess I should eat beforehand or something. Jesse's like, just take me to the concert and leave me the hell alone. So when you were like, let's go get dinner, I was really shocked. Here's the other thing I was shocked by, Robert. Jesse doesn't get out much. Do you know that? When you guys
He's hanging out with us at 10:30 at night.
Right. I have a life. But Yeah. I'm gonna tag you in here, Jesse, because like we went to this fancy barbecue place in like downtown Cleveland, a few blocks from the Gund Arena. And
Mabel's barbecue.
Mabel's barbecue. Yeah, I didn't even realize how famous it was. I just was like, I was like, what's around here? And I'm looking at restaurants. I'm trying to find one that's maybe like $1 sign so that Jesse doesn't like blow his entire year's budget. I was very concerned about that.
Where's the Subway?
Yeah.
Not the actual Subway, but the Subway where you can sit down and have a foot long.
Is there a White Castle anywhere?
Yes. Right
there. So we go there, and I posted a picture of it on Facebook, and everyone was like, "Oh my god, I'm going there, and I'm going to Vegas there." And people are like, "I can't believe you went there." My wife's like, "Oh my god, I can't believe I let you guys go without me." I had no idea what this place was, but
is it famous?
Apparently, quite so.
But the thing I have good barbecue here in North Carolina, so
right, yeah.
You can't go wrong with Carolina barbecue. My point is, I'm bringing this up before we even get to Rage Against the Machine, was I never realized just how uncultured Jesse actually was until we were like ordering, paying, everything. It was like bringing Tarzan into civilization, Jesse. I don't understand what happened here.
I told you, man, I do not get out down here at all. And I mean, when it comes to going out to eat, sitting down at a fancy restaurant, I say not even fancy, like I told you, Bob Evans is probably the fanciest I've gone to in probably years, where you sit down, you actually have a meal, and you got to tip a waitress. Boy, was that I needed somebody to I had to go on the internet and figure out what was going on. How do I act in this situation? Do I sign these 20 receipts and give her my card again? I had no idea what I was doing there. I just knew I had to tip her 20%. I knew that much. And then I was like, okay, let's go ahead and figure out how to get her this money. But yeah, we had this huge barbecue menu to pick from. I didn't know what I was getting. I got a pulled pork sandwich with coleslaw on it. I hate coleslaw. Yeah. I didn't know. I was like, I'll try this. I'll pick the coleslaw off.
Like this close will go, you got any mac and cheese? Can I just have some macaroni and cheese, please?
Please. But it was delicious. That was a very good pulled pork sandwich. I mean, I really enjoyed it. I was using the barbecue sauce that they had on the side, and as far as atmosphere, it was a nice little place. What was like a bar with a loft, and but yeah. I mean, that right there, that filled my quota for the next 4 years. I'm not going out to eat ever again for a while.
It was a very confusing and overwhelming experience for Jesse.
It was.
We had a good meal though. We had a very good conversation. I mean, it's like we've only been talking for 10 years. It was just in person.
Right. Yeah, you had pork belly.
I did.
If I remember correctly, and that looked pretty tasty.
It was very, very good. All right, so then we left the restaurant after Jesse tried to figure out how modern restaurant payments work. By the way, the waitress was like really attentive to us. I think she had the hots for you.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, I think she was trying
she was hoping these old guys would not flirt with her. I guarantee that. I guarantee you. She was just like, okay, how much interaction do I actually need to make in order to get a nice tip, and then leave immediately and pretend. I
feel like she kept trying to nuzzle up to you, and you're like, I don't understand how restaurants work.
Nuzzling at 5 feet away is pretty hard to do. She stayed away from our table and talked to us.
Are you worried that Mindy's going to hear this and like be suspicious? Like you're one night out and you were nuzzling a waitress. I got you covered, man.
Right, nuzzling a waitress. That chick was
Mark's
like 20.
Like, I'll be the Radulich if you'll be the broadcasting.
Anyway, so then we walked over to Rage Against the Machine, and so this rap group, Run the Jewels, opened up for them. I had never heard them before. My wife's ex fiance, who she's now friends with, apparently knew them and was like really excited for us that we were going to see Run the Jewels. I'm like, I don't know who these people are. I didn't even know they were a rap group. But they're my new favorite thing, man. I really enjoyed Run the Jewels. What'd you think?
Yeah, they were all right. I mean, as far as getting thrown into a concert and listening to a group for the first time ever, that was a fun experience. Just actually be able to. I mean, there was a few. It was hard. It's just because I'm old or what, but I'm trying to figure out what the hell they're saying. Number one, and maybe the actual.
It was a lot of like fuck it and fuck you and
it's a song about walking through the snow. I guess I think it might actually be the first rap group I've ever seen in a concert too. Yeah. Okay. I don't think I've ever seen a rap group in concert. So, we're talking about that, on the way over there, Mark Radulich accuses me of being too nice because the pro-choice ladies outside are trying to
I'm never going to go to New York City with you, man. We'll never get where we're going.
Well, yeah, New York City, no way, dude. I'm never ever going that far east. I went to Dover one time, and I'm like outskirting Washington D.C., and I'm like, fuck that noise. I am never stepping foot in there.
Here's the thing: growing up in New York and spending a lot of time in New York City, I have learned to ignore people and blow right past them. I have to tell you, I have gotten in trouble for this in the past, like. When WrestleMania, the first time WrestleMania was in Orlando, and they hadn't built Camping World Stadium yet, so the Citrus Bowl, like their parking lot wasn't we couldn't use it, which means that everybody, all like 60 or 70,000 people that had like rocked on to Orlando to see WrestleMania had to park on people's lawns in the area. So traffic was backed up for miles. This is the infamous story where I had just started dating my wife at the time. And she hadn't experienced like flaming mad Mark yet. So she wanted to go to IKEA beforehand. And I was like, that's fine as long as we get there in time. Like I wanted to see I wanted to be there before WrestleMania started. I wanted to see every match. It was one of those years where all the matches were good. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to get there, and we go to IKEA first. And she's like, okay, I guess it's time to go to WrestleMania now. We start driving. Traffic is backed up for miles and miles and miles. We are moving a car length like every 20 minutes. I am going to miss all of WrestleMania at the rate we're going. And I am in the car, and I don't think she'd ever seen someone vibrate with anger before. But I'm like,
about to get lift off.
Yeah, you could fry eggs right here.
Ooh. That's for the after party.
Yeah, baby. So she's like, why don't you? And I'm down the road by the time she says walk to the arena. Oh, she was talking to a Mark-sized puff of smoke. And so as I'm walking to this is the point of the story. As I'm walking to camping to at the time the Citrus Bowl, some fellow in the area tried to like solicit money from me. He was begging. And because I'm an asshole New Yorker, I just blow right past him. And he legitimately was like, y'all don't have to ignore me. You could be respectful, and like starts like walking after me.
Oh, nice.
And I'm like, I'm about to hit an old man. I'm about to knock this guy's block off. And eventually he like gave up, but like I legitimately was like, I'm about to get stabbed. New Orleans, there's people like in the street trying to solicit money, but the way they do it is they put a hat on you or something, or like they stop you and they say they look like cops. And they're just like, we're writing you a ticket, and you're like, and they're like, what ticket for? What? For having too much fun? Waka waka, and like, and and they're like, oh, here's this hat, here's the thing, and like they start giving you stuff, and they're like, that all costs money though. We need you to donate, and you're like throwing it off really quick, like I don't want any of your junk. Leave me alone. So once I knew what the scam was, the next time it happened to me, I just blew right past them, and they didn't know what to do with me. Like, because one of my friends stopped again, I was just like, no, they're not real cops. I don't have to stop for this.
That's great.
So, so what happened with you, Jesse?
Well,
and I fucking left you there. I was like, I'm done with this.
Oh yeah, you were gone. I don't even know if you knew I stopped, but I this lady was talking to me about pro-choice, handed me a pamphlet, and I was like, thanks, but I was trying to move on. Of course, she was like, let me tell you something real quick. I'm like, okay.
Let me tell you something, brother.
All I know is that she went on, and that, of course, she's talking about how what women do with their own bodies is their own choice, blah, blah, blah. But the conversation ended with her talking about how she doesn't tell me that I can't jack off. And I was like, thank you very much and have a good day.
Oh, that's the first I'm hearing of this.
I am not kidding you, sir. I was like, thank you very much. I appreciate it. And I left. So we get into the arena. I want to know something. real quick.
Yep.
What? I mean, did dude just drop his phone like straight up on your fucking skull? Is that what happened? Because you were sitting there, and all of a sudden, I look down, and he's got a hold of your head, and he's like caressing it and telling you he's sorry. And I'm like, what happened? And he's looking. I think you were helping him find his phone, or he was looking for.
I was not helping him find his phone. I was that fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy for dropping his phone on my head.
Yeah,
asshole.
I mean, it wasn't like he like threw it from the balcony or anything. Like,
right.
Ow. I'm not supposed
You
to get
kept checking yourself. I'm like, are you fucking checking yourself if you're bleeding? I was worried there for a second. I was like, fuck.
He was just like, standing right above me, and like the phone slipped out of his hand and just knocked me right in the head. And I'm like, what the fuck? But like accidents happen. Like I just went to go see Monday. I took my friend Jackie to go see Incantation, Goat Whore, Caveman Cult, and Bewitcher.
Goat whore.
Goat whore. I said goat whore.
No goat whore.
No, I didn't see no goat whore because goat whore didn't show up due to vehicle.
Dude, that sucks when you can't show up because of vehicle.
Yeah, I have. How many times has that happened in your life where you can't do something because of vehicle? I was so. That's why I bought the fucking ticket in the first place. That's all I've been talking about for like 2 weeks now was goat whore. And I get there and it's like, and earlier in the day, they had posted like, we're having some car trouble. Might not make it. I'm gonna do the best we can. I'm like, oh, it'll be fine. How do you as a band that's put out this many albums and has been around for as long as Goat Whore has not be able to make it to your gig? Well, they didn't, and I was pissed.
Damn,
I was ever so pissed. But like, it's a small, like you go to a metal show, you're gonna bump into people. Like if you're like one of the, like I remember I brought my friend Paul to go see Clutch at the House of Blues in Orlando, and like people were bumping him, and he's like, I can't deal with like people in this close proximity. And I'm like, ooh, you shouldn't have gone to a concert then.
I learned something very similar because I'm tall. I'm a good 6'2". My girlfriend is high Natalia. She's a good 5'2". So I found out where I like to stand and where she likes to stand are totally different. So she likes front row seats. I don't, because I don't want to get people running into me, mosh pitting. I'm not into that shit. But I'll tell you, the like 3 concerts I've been to with her, the most action I have ever got from a crowd. Like I had a dude actually trying to fight me at Mayhem.
What?
He thought I was starting the pit. And because the guys that were starting the pit, one of them straight up just ran straight into me, and I blew my girlfriend like 10 feet over into him. And he was just, and I'm sitting there like, brother, I don't want no fucking problems, man. Because you gotta crank up the southern when you're trying to talk to somebody. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I thought you were done.
No, I was just saying that. I don't know where exactly I'll like to stand, but the front. It can be cool in some places, but holy fuck, I've never got that much action.
It was funny. The pit broke out in front of during Bewitcher. The pit broke out in front of Jackie and I, and Jackie's a fairly thin woman, and I felt me being a big meaty man slapping meat. Yeah, baby, slapping meat. I felt chivalrous, if you will. Felt the need to protect Jackie from the pit. Now, I mean, I would have protected Melissa from the pit too, and I have. When I took her to go see Clutch and a pit broke out, and she was in fucking Ocala by the time from Orlando. By the time I turned around, I was like, "Where the fuck did she go?" But I will. You bring a girl to the rock show. If a pit breaks out, you got to protect them. We all know this, right? And Jackie got to pull me to the side. She was like, it's okay. I like it. I'm like, oh, okay. I got to bring you home in one piece. You have children.
Right.
So,
right.
But going back to this guy who like fucking drops his phone on my head, the whole reason we went on that tangent was like, I don't want to start trouble with anybody. Like, it was an accident. It's not like he just went fucking rage, man. Like, jammed his phone into my back of my head.
No, what my favorite part was is he's like kind of caressing your skull for a second.
Oh,
I'm like,
sorry,
man. I'm sorry, man. I'm like, I'm glad I turned around to see that.
Oh yeah, just him like massaging my head.
Magic 8 ball. What do you see?
He was asking about his future, is what was really happening. He was like shaking it up, says in the back of my head, they're probably not going to happen.
Am I gonna die?
Rage? I was gonna ask you, was Zach De La Rocha sitting the entire time? Because somebody asked me that, and I'm like, I couldn't tell.
Yeah, I just pulled up the article here from this was July 12th. He injured his leg apparently at a show, coming back up onto the stage. So our show, he was just sitting down the whole time, and I don't know how bad the injury is, but I mean, it was. I thought it was. I didn't know that going into it. I had no idea. I remember you mentioned something about somebody attacking him. I thought, well, maybe that was something a result of what happened.
Even Winfrey, though, who doesn't like really pay attention to a lot of stuff, like had noticed the first two shows, like there was like some sort of accident on one show, and another show there was like a run-in. Like, there was all kinds of. Apparently, like we were only the third stop on the tour or something like that, and apparently so far at every show there was a problem of some kind.
Right.
I think things have since settled down, but. Rage, what they play for like two and a half hours?
I don't know, man. I think it was like Rage played for like an hour and a half, maybe an hour and 45 minutes. Okay, we didn't break the two. We got out of there at 10:45. Run the Jewels showed up at 8. They had an hour set, so I'd say probably it was Rage Against the Machine was about maybe 2 hours at the most.
It was a good set list. I think it started with Bomb Track. The Guerrilla Radio was really early, like maybe 2 or 3 songs into it. It got a little slow towards the end. Like when they started in with like Ghost of Tom Joad and stuff like that.
I love Ghost of Tom's Chode.
Yeah.
Do you?
Okay, now I was just about to agree with the man.
But I think like I've seen a lot of concerts as we well know, and I was talking to somebody about this. Like I've seen Super Joint Ritual with Phil Anselmo where he talks longer than the songs. The asshole from Five Finger Death Punch who never knows when to stop talking. Like,
Ivan,
this is the future.
Yeah, just shut up and sing. Their set was fucking tight as shit, dude. Like they didn't really like the songs may have been slow, but there was no gab in between.
Right.
Not a lot of noodling, not a lot of just like fucking around. It was like song. He talked long enough to bring out the guys from Run the Jewels. And they did their duet, like Rise and Say Fuck It or whatever the name of the song was called. And then right back to it again, and we were done. And I thought it was great. I thought it was one of the better shows I've seen in a long time. I was really happy to be there. Rage Against the Machine was like, I never got to see Rage Against the Machine in their first run. As many albums as they put out during the late 90s, early 2000s, I never got to see them live. And this time I got to see, that's why I made a big deal about this and wanted to make the drive. Because I'd never seen them before and they weren't coming anywhere near Florida. So I was like, I got to travel to go see this and I don't want to miss the opportunity because this fucking band may break up again. And then I got to settle for Prophets of Rage, which was great. But
yeah, I was going to say there's not much settling there. But
yeah, exactly. So what'd you think?
Yeah, I had a great time. I mean, dude, the seats we got were awesome.
Yes.
I mean, we were straight on with the stage in the middle. We could see, the production stalls down in front of us, and then of course the people on the floor. But we had some great, fantastic seats. And yeah, the set list was awesome. I hadn't actually experienced a metal concert, rock concert in a big arena like that. And I was wondering kind of what it was going to be like. Remember, Mark, I said, there's seats in here. What the hell do I do now? When I sit down, do I stand up? What do I do?
Can we talk about those seats for a second? Like I'm a bigger guy than you are, but I mean, we're like, I think within an inch of each other, we are big, meaty men.
Right.
Slapping meat. And those seats are made for children or dainty girls. What the fuck, man?
They pack them in there, man.
Ugh.
Jeez.
The Amelie here in Tampa, not only are those seats made for small children or dainty girls, but like they're also so like close to each other from front to back. Like your knees have no like there and the Amway in Orlando, like my knees are like smashing into the chair, and I'm not that tall of a guy, as you found out. Like I'm 5'7", 5'8", somewhere in there. And I'm not like Coop, who's the fucking size of an ent.
He had to duck getting in my garage.
What was that?
I said you had to duck getting in my garage.
Oh yeah.
Come on in, Lurch.
He ain't that tall.
I felt like Gandalf walking into Bilbo's house.
Stupid hobbits.
So yeah, they do pack them in there. But I will say, did you have like somebody immediately on your left when you were sitting there? Because I had like 3 seats beside me that were completely open. I had nobody beside me.
Nobody filled in even after age?
No, wow. Dude. It was just a fucking stoner beside me that tried to pass me a joint.
Yeah, someone tried to get Jesse high.
What a guy!
Jesse's such a square.
I mean, I would have looked at him like he cussed out my mother.
He's sitting there. He kind of hits me. He nudges me. I'm like, why is this guy in my space for a second? You know, I'm trying to figure this out. Can you guys do me a favor and do that a few more times? Thank you. The guy nudges me. I'm like, why? You know what? I haven't said nothing to this guy. He nudges me, and I look over at him. I look at him in the eye, and he kind of looks down, like, you know, yeah. And I look down, and he's holding the joint. He's asking me if I want it. And I told Mark, I said, I don't know if this is afterwards, obviously. I didn't like stop everything and be like, hey, Mark, you know, this guy over here.
What do I do?
He's offering me drugs.
Do I tip this guy? I don't know what I do here. So
I want to look cool in front of Tom.
Do I offer him a hand job? What do I do here?
So I just, you know, politely said, you know, I kind of shook my head and smiled and kept going on about my day. But the thing is like, I was sitting there thinking, like, I know there's this puff pass kind of rule. So like, was he wanting me to actually take the thing, even though I wasn't going to do anything, and just pass it on down the line? I didn't understand this whole social contract in regards to the joint. Had no idea what I was doing.
Can I ask you a question? When was the last time you did something social? When you were 12?
Dude, you have no idea how antisocial I can be. I am. My daughter has told me that I need to leave the house more, and I will go and walk around the neighborhood, but I have Life 360, which keeps track of my movement. I have not gotten in my car and left probably within a mile of my house for probably 3 weeks right now. Well, other than when I went up there. So that's how social. Dude, I mean, like bars go out as soon as you get married. It's kind of like, you know, for us here, bars are out the window. We're not going to the bars. We're not doing anything.
Yeah, I don't have that experience.
Yeah, no nude beaches.
Yeah, let's talk about. Yeah, we got that on the agenda. But yeah, so the guy tried to pass me a joint, and I was like, "No, thanks, man. I appreciate it." And
you didn't pass me the joint. Not that I get high, but. Like you were supposed to pass it to me.
Thanks, Mark. Thanks. Now I feel like like this guy's probably like, that fucking guy didn't even pass the joint down. What an asshole. I lost sleep over this.
Oh, poor Jesse.
Last note that I had. Well, I had a couple notes. I mean, we did see some Clutch shirts. It was nice to see that. One of the guys checking into the hotel.
Dude, seriously, like Clutch fans are a cult. We're part of a cult. And when we find each other, we're like, brother.
Right. You got to shout it out. Hey, nice shirt. Yeah. Nobody said shit to me about my C30 shirt. Everybody saw yours and knew exactly what it was, but because no one had any clue about my C30 shirt.
Okay, if you had had the 930 Club shirt, people would have known it. Right. Neil's worn that like in concert footage, like concert video. You can see him in the 930 shirt. That one that you got for the 30th anniversary of Clutch, I had to ask you what it was because I didn't even know.
You was like, what the fuck is that? I'm like, oh yeah, it's a celebration of the 30th Clutch in the style of the 930 Club shirt. Yeah, well,
right.
I
but he's also worn the no Huey, no news, no thanks shirt.
Yeah.
So people knew
we've seen that. We saw that online. That's the whole reason why you got it.
Yep.
Chrome shoes.
We organized the show, Robert Cooper. I called him and I was just like, can we wear Clutch adjacent shirts together and be totally gay? And he was like, we can.
I will be gay.
One of my favorite things to do is try to find the most obscure metal shirt that I have, just so I can be like, oh, see how many friends I can make. Usually the Woods of Ypres shirt gets like 3 or 4, like, dude, I love that.
Nice. Very nice.
I wore my girlfriend a lot too, though, where we'll I'll be like, oh, good, you wore the shirt that we went to the concert in too. Oh God, we're gay.
That's 2 in like 1 minute. I used to do that. I used to try to wear like Like if I was going to, let's say, a death metal show, let me try to find like the most like non-death metal rock band t-shirt that I have, and then go the opposite way. Yeah, it's something like that. I've now I just wear whatever the last show that I was. So if I buy a shirt at a show, which I want to do, I'll wear it to the next show.
Oh, that's cool.
So I bought a Rage Against the Machine t-shirt that has like the Dare mock-up, but it says RATM instead. It's perfect. I love shirts like that. And I wore it to the Goat Horse show. Nobody was giving me a tremendous amount of compliments for that. However, I saw a bunch of obituary shirts and we all bonded. They're like, fucking obituary, man. They're coming here, by the way. They're coming in November. They're playing with Amon Amarth.
Oh, yeah. That show's going to be coming to Charlotte. I have to see them.
You going to go?
Very
all right.
Nice.
You go to your show. I'll go to my show, and we'll talk about it.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Fair and contrast.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to stay right here if that's all right.
I found out that next Saturday, Anthrax is going to be in Charlotte, and I was like, fuck.
Oh, Friday. They're going to be here. I'm going to that show. Taking Jackie again, as a matter of fact. My friend Jackie.
With Black Label Society and Hatebreed.
Yeah. So, real quick, my buddy Jackie doesn't understand how time works. And if you say, I need you to be ready at 4 because it's a 2-hour drive from where you live to the venue, better than average chance we're not getting out of the house on time. Won't even start getting ready until I want to leave. So,
me too.
I discovered this, and I figured out that that's just girl behavior. Like most girls just don't. They're like wizards. They arrive when they mean to. They don't understand how travel and time and math work. So I'm just kind of getting used to that. But I think I'm going to tell her like I need you to be ready at noon, so that like she'll actually be ready by 4 o'clock when I go to pick her up and go to Orlando. That's my plan.
That's what my dad used to do to me during Civil War reenactments. He would tell me dress parade would be 10 minutes. He would tell me 10 minutes earlier than everybody else because he knew I'd be ready by the time everybody else was finished. Because I get distracted and just noodle with some bullshit and where did he go?
He must have.
I'm here. Just keep going.
Oh,
pretend he didn't leave.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I just get distracted by noodly bullshit, and then and suddenly I'm late.
I love how Mark has to deal with somebody that doesn't understand time, and we call him the schedule. And
yeah, the great irony of my life that one of my really good friends drives me absolutely insane. All right, all right. Next week on the Metal Hammer of Doom Extra, I don't think I will have any sexy stories to tell, so I'm going to save the sexy story I was going to tell tonight for that. So come back in a week. 1 week, and I will tell you about my nude resort experience. All right,
I can't wait.
Okay, would you like to hear me talk about my publicly laid out dingaling and all the dingalings I saw? Ding-a-ling-a-ling. Let me set this. Let me quick give you a morsel. Okay. Let me give you
I don't want a morsel from that.
let me give you an hors d'oeuvre from this story I'm going to tell you. There was a guy that we referred to as Spray Tan Dick.
Oh,
You'll find out why next week on the Metal Hammer of Doom Extra.
I'm going to guess that it didn't match, or maybe it did.
Let's put it this way. Periodically, and you could tell time by this motherfucker. Also, because of the way the sun hit it. Never mind. But
it's a sundial.
It was. This guy was hung like a cruise missile. Anyway, but he would occasionally, and he was just chilling by himself the whole time, and occasionally he would just like unwield the thing, like like a fucking lightsaber, just kind of go, and then he would just make sure that he got that sunscreen on there, man, that spraying it down, and he did this periodically enough to where we started to notice it became a little fetishy after a while.
That guy has apparently gotten sunburn on his dick at one point and realized that spray. He was putting sunscreen on it.
No,
is that what you're saying?
Like sunscreen spray.
Oh,
he was spraying it.
Okay, I got you.
Okay.
But it was sunscreen so he doesn't get a burnt dick.
Correct. Like you would in a nude resort.
That's man. Could you imagine?
Oh no! Oh no! You get an erection and you immediately are just like dead.
So there's more fun to be had from my experience at the nude resort. I will tell you about it next week in vascular detail. But I had to tell you about Sunscreen Dick first.
I love it.
Because let me tell you, one of my friends showed up, and then we're like, hey, we need to tell you about Sunscreen Dick. And she's like, where?
Just be prepared.
And I pointed her at him, and speaking of cruise missiles, she went right at him, man. It was like, all right, who wants to watch the Soulfly video?
Ooh, I do. I think I remember the last Soulfly video we watched, and they were having
they were out in the desert. They were able to plug their instruments into the rocks.
It was amazing.
Into the cacti.
Ooh, it was rock hard.
All right, here we go. This is Filth Upon Filth. Wait a minute.
He says, wait a minute.
Helps if I have it plugged into the right speaker.
Smart.
Zippity doo da. Zippity. Come on. Don't leave me hanging, Jesse.
Zippity,
my. What a wonderful day.
Thank you. What a wonderful day, Dick.
Okay.
Damn.
Heading my way. Zippity
doo da. Zippity.
You know that I've seen a few bootlegs of that movie around. When's that coming on Disney Plus?
Me too. Never. All right, here we go. For real, not for play.
So we got. Is this all going to be animated? I didn't have a chance to watch this video before we got.
And neither did I. But yet again, we're doing another screensaver video.
Right, dude. This is.
Isn't it funny? Like screensavers really aren't a thing anymore.
No, I guess they aren't, are they?
Isn't it? I guess because it's more damaging for the images to be, I guess, still on your screen. I don't know.
Justin Thomas shared a picture of Winamp. Remember Winamp? Really,
they're still making plugins for it. I think.
I love it. So I remember the last Soulfly album and how much I liked it.
Yeah,
I was
Soulfly's
really, really impressed.
Soulfly's usually really, really good.
That dude has.
I don't have anything to say about this video. I'm just gonna dance.
You dance.
Crustaceans? Oh, that's not a crustacean.
That's not a crab.
I mean, it could have been a crab. You never know.
What is going on? Why are they?
I don't know.
Maybe if we read the lyrics, we'd know.
Demogorgon head. And
I'm just gonna warn people: don't criticize us. We will never get over it.
Yeah, I don't. I need.
How dare I do my research? What do you expect me to be, a professional?
Yeah.
All right, this clearly just looks like somebody took a collection of Shrinky Dinks. And just moved them around in front of the camera, manipulating them.
Maybe it was directed by that guy that was trying to pass Jesse the weed.
Probably. So, I mean,
oh, good. They're summoning the Wizard of Oz.
I'm picking up change in the breakdown. I had to teach my daughter what a breakdown was. I think I put on Hate Breed or something, and I'm like, this song is all breakdowns, Lily. She's like, that's great.
Tell me what that is, Father.
Explain to me what a breakdown is.
You'll find out soon enough when you hit college.
Oh, that looks horrifying.
Oh no, Spider Dog.
Spider Dog.
Spider Dog.
Spider Dog.
That reminds me, there was once a spider the size of a drink coaster on my mom's porch at 2 a.m. I threw a brick at it. It dodged. And when I turned the flashlight on, all those eyes staring right back at me.
Wow. I learned that's scary.
All right.
That there, that music video, I have no idea what happened.
They summoned Spider Dog.
Yes, they did.
Can I tell you, as I was watching that, I was thinking, and I had this epiphany recently with Robert Winfrey and Damn You Hollywood. I had this epiphany recently with Robert Winfrey. I was like, I'm always afraid we're not going to have enough to talk about to like fill up at least an hour. I like my podcast to be about an hour to an hour and a half, but at a minimum an hour. And so it's like I always load up the show like if we don't have a money segment, like, well, then we need to do a whole other movie because I'm afraid we won't make an hour. Same thing here. I'm like, okay, when we do Metal Hammer of Doom Extra or when we do Metal Hammer of Doom Jukebox, we have to do 3 videos because there's no way we're going to fill up an hour with just one video and talking. 40 fucking minutes.
Yeah, I was like, are we going to do the review after all? I know we were kind of considering just ixnaying it.
Sorry, it's been a long night. All right. So yeah. All right. Soulfly Totem comes out tomorrow. We'll review it a week from tonight on August 11th. For Jesse Starcher, for the Metal Coop, for Sunscreen Dick. This has been the Metal Hammer of Doom Extra.